Hello and Assalamualaikum. So in this week, the grammar, we have topic of contractions. So before we talk about what contractions actually are, let's see what do we mean by the word contract. So what do we mean by contract? For example, contract means to shorten or to get smaller in size. So when something contracts, for example, when you pour water over plastic sheet, it contracts, so it becomes smaller. So that is what we mean by contraction. Moving on, we have this video of contractions. I will be sharing this video for you to watch, and you can watch it later on your own. So what contraction actually is? A contraction is a way to combine two words into a shorter word. An apostrophe is normally used in place of a missing letter or letters. So sometimes you omit just one word in a contraction, or sometimes you omit more than one. Some contractions are made by combining a verb with the word not. For example, let's look at this sentence over here. The grass is not green in winter. So is and not. Now they are together and they are two words. So let's combine them together to make one short word. Let's see over here. The grass isn't green in winter. Now what we did over here, since there's no space in these two words anymore, we have is, we have n, then we put an apostrophe and we put in t. Now not is the only word which changes in a different way. You don't omit a word from the start, but we omit a word from the middle, which is O. Let's look at a lot of other words that we can change or omit to make a different word. Okay, so the first word we have is not. So in order to, for example, if the word is did not. So in order to shorten this word, I'm going to write the first word as it is. Then I'm going to write N apostrophe, and then I'm going to put a T. So did not becomes didn't. So this is how we shorten did not. So there are other forms like aren't, can't, couldn't, didn't, doesn't. So there are a lot of other words which are shortened when joined with not. Moving on, the next word we have is. So let's shorten is. For example, if we say he is playing in the garden or he's doing something. So in order to shorten he and is, I'm going to write the first word he as it is, and I'm going to put an apostrophe and put an s. It would become he is. So these words not only shorten in terms of letters, but when you say or pronounce these words, they're also pronounced differently. So this is how we change different words. Next we have is are. So let's shorten are. For example, if I say they are going to the park or they are playing outside. So in order to shorten it, I'm going to write the first word as it is. I'm going to put an apostrophe and add R and E so that it becomes there. So it's not there or they are, it's there. Go sit over there. It sounds just similar to there, but it's different. They're going to the park. Now, up until now, we have done all the words in which you just omit one letter. Now, next we are going to do the words in which you have to omit more than one letter to make a contraction. For example, the word we have is have. So when we shorten have, for example, I can say I have a pencil with me. So if I shorten it, I'm going to write I'm going to put an apostrophe, then add we and e. So it would become I've a bottle with me. So when you pronounce it, you also pronounce it in a short form rather than saying it I have. Next we have had and would. Now this is a little different than the rest because For had and would, they both are written in the same short form. But when you read a sentence, you automatically realize whether it's had or whether it's would. For example, if I say, in order to shorten it, what you do is you put I, you put apostrophe, and you put a T. Now this is a short form for both I had and I would. For example, if I would say I would like to eat a burger. So it cannot be I had like to eat a burger. So this is definitely the word would. So as you read a sentence, you realize automatically that what word it actually is. For I had and I would, you both change them in the same manner. You put I, apostrophe, and then a D. Last but not the least, we have the letter will. So in order to change will, what do we do? For example, we can say he will go to, or she will go to the movies tomorrow. So in order to shorten she and will, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write first word as it is, then I put an apostrophe, and then I put two L's. I'm going to omit W and I'm going to omit I. So W and I both get cancelled out. So this is how we shorten she'll. And we also say it in a shorter form. And last but not the least, we have one final word. So which would be like I and am. So I is only used with am. Am, you cannot use am with any other word. You cannot say she am or he am or they am. We only use am with I. And this, in order to shorten this word, we write I, we put an apostrophe, and then we put an M. So that's a shorter form for I'm. I'm going to write a letter. So this was it for today. And if you have any confusion, you can always ask me on the Google Classroom. Bye bye.